Hi there, Caesar with Elite Financial Credit and C&D Real Estate. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about credit and debt relief options. There are a few terms that come around that people get confused with, and I've heard it through the years. I've been doing credit repair for 20 years and often get confused with other types of services out there. And so I thought I'd clear a few things up, and hopefully this enlightens you. This is usually stuff that we don't learn in school, and maybe something that you can pass along to somebody else. So let's get right into it. So what we're talking today about is, what happens when you are either maxed out on credit cards, your debt is over the limit, or you're already in default. And most of the time, people are already in default. And so what happens with that? And so we hear of different phrases along the way, such as credit repair, debt consolidation, debt settlement, credit counseling, bankruptcy. How do all of these come together? What does it all mean? What does it look like? And so I'll just do a brief explanation of each one, and hopefully it clears it up for you guys. So let's start with one of the first things that most people do, or I don't want to say most, but often a lot of people do, is they do nothing. They put their head in the sand and they just try to avoid it at all costs because they don't want to deal with it. They don't have the money, and they just don't want to be a part of that. And so they usually will just hold off on doing anything until they have to, or until they come across some money. They start making some more money down the road, and then they work towards a goal. So another area is we hear of debt consolidation. And what is debt consolidation? And oftentimes you get confused with commercials or something you'll see online of, consolidating your debt to help you with your credit, to help you with your finances. And debt consolidation, at the really base of it all, is it's a loan. It's a personal loan or a personal line of credit that's going to help you consolidate and roll all of your debt into a single account. And that way it'll help minimize your monthly payment. So it helps you ease the financial side of things on that end. On the credit side of things, it can also help by easing whether it's debt that's just maxed out on credit cards and you're putting it all into one lump sum loan, one payment, and it's taking away all that debt from the limits of those credit cards. And so it can be very helpful if it's used right. The biggest hurdle you have with debt consolidation is you just have to be able to qualify for a loan. So you have to have the income and ability to repay the loan, and traditionally you're going to have some sort of a good credit score in order to do that. And so this is not for everyone. It's definitely not for something, usually if you're in default already. Debt settlement. Debt settlement is, there are debt settlement companies and the act of settling out debt. Those are one and the same, but here's the thing. You can settle out your own debt. You can hire a company to settle out your debt for you. There are companies that are called debt settlement companies, and I haven't run across a debt settlement company that I like. Simply for the fact that pretty much all of the time that I've ever dealt with them is that they get their payment up front first before they even do any work to help you settle your debt. So it's usually a monthly payment amount that they're going to ask you to pay for their services, for the fees, and they're going to make it sound like, hey, you pay us this money and we'll go in and settle your debt for you, and that's all the money you pay. You stop paying your bills, basically. I've seen so many people get in trouble with that because they think that this company's helping them, when in reality they're just collecting their fees up front first, and then they'll go and settle the debt out later. But at that point, people don't have the money to pay them. And normally, most of the time, when you're going in to settle out debt, you want to get it, the better settlement you can get is usually going to be in a lump sum payment. So I would generally try to stay away from debt settlement companies. You can, like I said, go into your defaulted accounts and settle your debt on your own, or you can hire a company. We may be able to help with that as well. Consumer Credit Counseling Services, CCCS, Consumer Credit Counseling Services, are generally nonprofit organizations, and they are here to help consumers with maxed out debt. It can be helpful for a small percentage of people, I'd say, people that don't need to use their credit in the next couple of years. And the reason for that is as these companies go in to help you and they go in to educate you, they're going to go in to close out your accounts that you have existing already, which is going to damage your scores, your credit. And then they'll go in to stabilize and really neutralize any of the interest from accruing any further. They'll get you on a payment plan with these companies on a very minimal amount to pay back of what has been borrowed and what you owe over the course of time. I've seen it. Usually, it's 2 to 5 years. It's a 2 to 5 year plan where they will go in and they'll just stop all the fees from accruing, close out your accounts. So you won't have access to credit anymore for those lines of credit and that debt. And it can be helpful if you don't need to use your credit over that course of the next 2 to 5 years. It can be very damaging for people that are want to do the right thing, but your credit's going to be completely damaged at the end of it and during it. Credit repair. Credit repair can be looked at as maybe a combination of some of these, where it's using laws. It's usually using negotiations and communication with your creditors and debtors, with your debt collectors to remove, to eliminate, to stabilize any negative information on the credit report or debt that is reported inaccurately, it's obsolete or unverifiable. And it's used, you can do your own credit repair as well, just like debt settlement. I have seen also on the other side of this, plenty of credit repair companies that are unscrupulous. They do not help people, and they're just going out to make a buck. And I've seen a lot of these companies through the years. Like I said, I've been doing credit repair for 20 years, and I've actually worked for a couple that we learned what not to do when running a company and trying to help people. And so we here at Elite Financial have been successful in helping people, and that's why our doors are still open, because we will give you the truth. We'll tell you what we can do and what you can expect and what you shouldn't expect. And finally, bankruptcy. Now, I'm not an attorney, and in all of these, I can't give you legal advice, and so that's not what any of this is. It's not legal advice. A little bit of education that I've learned along the way. And when it comes to bankruptcies, you've got a bankruptcy Chapter 7 and a Chapter 13. You need to talk to an attorney about anything that you'd want to file with the bankruptcy, or even just get a consultation on that. But this would be, some of the worst case scenario type of deals where you can get your debt basically taken care of if you qualify for it, and it can be pretty damaging to your credit and going forward. But there is life after bankruptcy, and we can talk about that as well. So as always, if you have any questions about something specific that I can help with, feel free to reach out. You can find me. I'm pretty easy to find online. Call us at our office, or find us on social media. Slip us a DM, and we'd be happy to help you work through any questions you'd have. With that, I'd like to say thank you for watching, and please feel free to share. Thank you. Bye-bye.